Hello and welcome to today's webinar, Let the EPG Help Convert Consumers to NEXTGEN TV. To get started, my name is Heidi Steffen. I am the Chief Webinar Officer for Titan TV Inc. We'll also have Chelsea Stump, our broadcast tool product manager on the webinar. She'll be helping field questions throughout the webinar and at the end. So as a reminder, if you have any questions throughout this entire webinar, please go to the chat and fill it, or the questionnaire, and put your questions there, and we'll answer them throughout the webinar. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So on our agenda today is, what is EPG? What is the difference between ESG and PSIP data? What are consumers excited about with NEXTGEN TV? And then what is Titan TV's ESG data and rich media services? So to get started, what is EPG? When someone is talking about EPG, what are they in referencing to? So EPG stands for Electronic Program Guide. So here's an example of one that you would see on a television. As the reference here from Wikipedia states, and EPGs are main-based systems that provide users of television, radio, and other media applications a continuously updated menus that display schedule information for current and upcoming broadcast programming. So then what is the difference between ESG data and PSIP data? So to give you some reference, if you're not familiar, PSIP data is the metadata that is required by the FCC with ATSC 1.0 that is then sent out with the digital signal so that consumers at home, when they pull and push on guide on the remote, that is the metadata that is showing up in the guide on their television. So here's an example of that on the screen, where ATSC 3.0, that same information is now called ESG data. But not only does it include the program information, it now includes rich media, from station logos to show cards, movie posters, and more. And we'll get into more details about what that is. So here's just another example of the difference. Again, the biggest difference is show cards. So here's a television that is just now starting to display a 3.0 signal here, and it has more images versus your traditional 1.0 guide on a television. So with that all being said, kind of giving you a little foundation of terminology and the industry. So what are consumers most excited about with NEXTGEN TV? We went and asked the experts. So Pearl TV partnered with MAGA to identify the most compelling features and services of interest to consumers with TV in 3.0. This study was originally done back in 2018. What they did in the lab, it demonstrated a range of services and features that could possibly be possible with ATS 3.0. And I want to emphasize that possible. Doesn't mean that it is today if you would turn on your television and you're able to receive a 3.0 signal, but it is something that is possible based on the standards. So the four areas that they looked at was enhanced video, which included your 4K, your high dynamic range, and then enhanced audio from immersed 3D audio, custom audio tracks, dialogue enhancement, multiple language, and consistent loudness. Another one was interactive content, from virtual channels to enhanced stats, to be able to start over, so like your DVR function, enhanced camera angles, customized ads and offers, which is a huge thing I know for broadcasters, the game integration, and then advanced emergency alerts. The last one was the modernized guide, the ability to have past programming catch-up feature, comprehensive schedules, on-demand and live TV in one menu, which would be great. I'm excited about that personally. Digital portal access and additional episode access, and customization settings. In this lab, the devices that they were shown for the consumers were the following. They had large screen TVs, you had your mobile phone, set-top boxes, gateways, USB adapters, or HDMI dongles. So with that all in mind, kind of giving an idea and foundation of what was the set of the lab. Now here are the actual key findings of this particular research. One of the things that they found that with consumers were most excited was actually some groups of consumers. So those were specifically sports enthusiasts, heavy broadcast viewers, cord cutters and cord nevers, which I thought was interesting, and early adopters. And one of the things that they found in this study was, as this one cord cutter cord never stated, I don't even know if I get local channels. ATS 3.0 makes me want to have broadcast programs available. As we know, that's one of the biggest things with consumers is some aren't even aware that they can get free television over the air with an antenna. So now that they are learning more about the capabilities with 3.0, these consumers are even more excited with the abilities that is to come. With that, another one that really resonated with different consumer categories is related to the cord cutters and cord nevers. Let me take a step back. For those of you that don't know, cord cutters are individuals that originally had cable or satellite and cut the cord, so they no longer receive their main form of television via cable or satellite. Cord nevers, they never have ever had a cable subscription or satellite subscription, for example, and they've either received their broadcast from an antenna or maybe they're just OTT platform consumers. So viewers, they said, with cord cutters and cord nevers are drawn to the idea of enhanced content access. So access to free over-the-air signal and the convenience that 3.0 offers. The modernized guide is especially important to these users because it allows them to access TV content, so customized views, the catch-up feature, and brings everything to one place. So those digital portals, comprehensive schedules, etc. There were 4 themes that really emerged with the viewers during this research of the benefits of ATS 3.0. The first one was the OTA signal access. So to give them easy access to content they find valuable. So one broadcast viewer said this was simplicity, easy access, all in one. The other feature that emerged was customization. So it allows viewers to customize and personalize their experience, which helps them to find what they want easier, to interact with the content they love in new ways, and even discover new content in the process. And that is one thing that I'll kind of get in more detail within this presentation of what they were looking to do, but also then how our products at Titan TV can help with that customization. As this one cord cutter cord never said, I like the option to go back and forward in the guide. It was personalized towards me, and then that would be nice. Another one of the themes that emerged was passive to active. So the idea of shifts TV viewing from a passive to an active behavior. So consumers feel better about watching TV if they feel that there's something interactive with that particular show or educational component to it. If they are hiking on a show, they want to know which mountain they are on. It would be more educational, for example. So we're going to go over into some opportunities that broadcasters will be able to have with 3.0 to provide those additional information or links within the EPG. The last one is exclusivity, allowing viewers to customize the content in a way that makes it more enjoyable for family and friends. So this is a lot of times with the opportunity to have different audio with the programming so that people in the home that are multi-language are able to both watch it together. As I was talking about, customized consumption is key. So as the study had found, viewers are excited to learn that they could be able to customize their broadcast TV view experience very similar to how they already do today with other outlets such as Netflix and Hulu. So these are those consumers that are consuming video content now via OTT or over-the-top connected televisions through these different services. A few even said that they want to be able to create a user profiles for viewing as they do in Netflix, which will be very beneficial for broadcasters as they can get that metadata back. And then parents are very interested in parent controls. So the idea that enhanced ESG data service along with a broadcaster app, we can now provide these features and customization for customers in 3.0, which I'll get into more details on how we're able to do this. As I said, one of the things that emerged was interactive. So just to kind of give us a little interactive content snapshot. The research found that consumers say they're often already using a second screen. So an example here is my phone, and I've got a guide up that I'm looking on more information or I'm trying to find. I already have it, or maybe it's a laptop as I'm watching TV. Therefore, they like how the interact content feature brings the activity to their main screen. So one of the capabilities in 3.0 is that the consumer on the television can click right on the television to get more information. This is something I like, but also one of the options in 3.0 is to allow the viewers then to have an option to cast that interactive pop-ups or overlays to other devices as they already have in their hand today when they're watching television. So the interactive content features are typically not enough to warrant purchasing an ATS 3.0 device on their own, since many capabilities are already accessible via the consumer phone. So you're asking, well, why would they then purchase a television? The research stated, though, however, when paired with other features such as enhanced audio, the combination of features is enough to make the consumer willing to pay access. With that, here's kind of a snapshot of the enhanced audio. So in this research, they did find the feature that consumers were most excited about was actually enhanced audio feature that appealed more consumers. As it states here, these features tend to have a very practical use for consumers by helping them to hear the content better, helping them or their loved ones understand and enjoy the content, helping them prevent conflicts caused by inconsistent audio issues. And I'm a prime consumer of that. I am the, it's number right here, dialogue enhancement. Boost only the dialogue and the audio and not the background. That's my biggest complaint I have a lot of times is I can't hear what they're saying because the background is so loud. Some of the other features, though, the top features that consumers in this study said is the top one would be immerse 3D audio. So immerse, imagine watching your news like a movie theater sound around you, or custom audio tracks. So choose from several different audio tracks from the same broadcast program. A couple examples that come to mind for me would be you're watching your favorite NFL football game and you just don't want to listen to the announcers. You just want to listen to the game as if you were really there. You could shut off the announcers and just listen to the game. Another use case that comes up would be NASCAR races. So again, you don't want to listen to the announcers, but you want to listen to your favorite driver in the crew chatter. You could turn to that particular chatter and listen to that while you watch the game or the race. So one of the things that Pearl Television has put together along with Adobe for this holiday season, if you haven't already saw it, is to really emphasize and play on that top feature that consumers said they're most excited about with 3.0, which is audio. So let me see if I can get this to play. So give me a minute here. Let me go full screen.
Background stealing scene. The father is you, John. NEXTGEN TV and Dolby, dialogue is crystal clear. Volume catching you by surprise? NEXTGEN TV and Dolby, there are no more sound surprises. Make the sound decision and choose NEXTGEN TV.
Oops. So those are some of the fun commercials you'll be able to see. Again, that just kind of emphasizes what consumers are most excited about with 3.0 NEXTGEN television. So we have that in mind. They're excited, but what else would allow them and push them to go ahead and purchase a television set and then start consuming them? As I talked about a little bit earlier, it was interactive content. So here's a little snapshot, and I really like this quote from a broadcast viewer. It says, "I feel like a society today, we like having information at our fingertips, literally." So again, the idea is on the screen that through the information that's being sent, especially through the broadcaster app, they can click on things and be able to get more information as they're watching it. Some of the features that they really were excited about with this study is one was enhanced stats. So they get to choose to see an on-screen stats of additional information about the program the viewer's watching. If you're like me, I know I've watched Amazon Prime, I'm watching a video, a movie, and I'm like, oh, I know that actor, but what other movies are they in? I can pause it, I can go down and find that actor, and then it takes me off and to find more information, but then I can go back and finish watching my movie. So that's another opportunity and an option that will be available with 3.0 NEXTGEN. Other ones is change the camera views during live broadcast programming to start over the program from the beginning and fast forward and rewind. The other one I think that's going to actually help drive consumption as well is to receive emergency alerts as well as additional information and multiple content alerts to their device. And this is more than the Amber Alert, for example, you get on your phone today. It's very generic. You don't have all the information. With NEXTGEN Television, when they send that alert to your television, you can click on it, you can get more information. For example, have an example what the car looks like, maybe even a picture of the individuals, or let's say it's an emergency where you need evacuation routes. It could then, through that device, then tell you, you click on the information, it tells you exactly for you how to do your emergency evacuation routes. Some of the other ones that I thought was very interesting was virtual channels. So provide additional content related to the live programming that a viewer is watching. So if I'm watching a news and it just gives me a short news clip and they said to see the full story, click here, I could click there, which takes me to a virtual channel where I can see that full length program. And then the last one is customized ads and offers. So this gives also our broadcasters an opportunity to make additional revenue in NEXTGEN TV, but then provide customized ads that is actually fits the consumers or the viewers' preferences. Now let's talk about my favorite subject, is modernized guide snapshot. In this study, they found that the modernized guide is a strong second favor to the audio enhancement for many of the consumers. This capability resonates more overall with the cord cutters and cord nubbers. In my personal opinion, I think it's because they're used to things like their OTT and how they can get more information, and that information is just clicks away for them within their current platforms. And as this says, since they do not have access to cable or satellite services, which often will have other forms of enhanced guides. So viewers especially like the all-in-one concept, so a catch-up feature or the digital portal access. So some of the things that were the top features within the modernized guide snapshot were: one, to view demand and live TV programs in one menu. Wouldn't that be great if you could click and you're like, oh, I can watch this now live, or I could watch it tomorrow on VOD because I'm too busy, or vice versa. It's airing tomorrow, but I can watch it now in my television. The other one is browse past programming, choose to watch shows that have previously aired. So the catch up, kind of the DVR. Access additional episodes to broadcast portals or apps. So this is another thing. You'll need to be able to have that information, where are the other episodes, and then be able to click through the app to be able to find and watch them. Be able to customize based on preferences, like creating favorites, channel lists, and setting reminders. I know we do this today on our consumer site, TitanTV.com. We allow the users to be able to customize their lineups, and they only watch 3 or 4 channels, they can make it to the top. Wouldn't this be great to have that same functionality on your television? And I just want to see these 4 that I watch the most, and maybe a VOD, and have that guide, the EPG, customized to fit my viewing capabilities or interest. Also, comprehended schedules. So show where else a viewer can access the show, or when future episodes of the show will be aired. Kind of back to the other one, VOD. So I can do search through my EPG and then find out, okay, where else can I watch it? Can I watch it over the air, or more? Maybe I also have access to somewhere else that I can watch it. Talked about browse and record future programming. And then the last one is where I think Titan TV can really help with as well. So to see program descriptions, schedules, ratings, pictures, and other multimedia related to the content, all in that EPG. And I'll go more in detail of how you'll be able to do that, or how we can provide that currently to our system. So let me now kind of give you the foundation, give you some verbiage, give you the idea of the study, or the foundation of the study that Maggot did for Pearl TV. What are consumers more excited about? Now let's shift that to what can Titan TV help and provide with that. So I wanted to go over our ESG metadata and rich media services. So first of all, our system is built on a robust delivery platform utilizing our media source scheduling tool. So if you have attended any of our other webinars, you're very familiar with this. But to give you a little bit more foundation, we receive and get our baseline data from RedBee, also known as FYI television. This is anywhere from the metadata to all the rich media. But then through our online scheduling tool, MediaStar allows broadcasters, OTT platforms to actually then customize their schedule, customize an user-added program. Maybe it's a one-time program, it's just last minute, whatever it might be, to really fit and customize to then what they want to push out to ESG data services or the guides. And then the question is, what is in our ESG data service? So the best way to really display this, instead of just sending you XML data files and showing, be able to see that, is we built out our online affiliate guides, which we call our NEXTGEN guides, to be able to display some of this information that we will now be able to provide an ESG data service. So some of that includes like a logo. So this is a customized logo that I created, uploaded in our system, and now displays on the guide. It would also display out in ESG. The program metadata that we're used to today with PSIP data service, but now it also includes show cards, movie cards, which is what these particular images are, and then cast and crew information. You know, who is Ellen DeGeneres' family? What's her trade? Where was she born? But then additional pictures related to cast and crew. And then last, additional links that I'll show you some of those when we actually get to the live product. Looks like we have a few questions, Chelsea. I'll stop right there.
There is a question. This one is the past programming that you were referencing before, or catch up, sounds like a DVR. Is that an embedded service in NEXTGEN TV or something else?
So it's, to my understanding, that would be part of like the broadcaster app. So it would be something that is a capability. It's not going to be there for everything. It might not even necessarily be on what we call a receiver app. So that's the application on the television that would then pull in. But we know that with broadcaster apps, it gives them more capability. So if a particular broadcaster or group decides, hey, one of the features I want to be able to offer is a past programming catch up, which is like a DVR, I can then build that into my broadcaster app to have that capability. There's a lot of things more involved with that, be able to store it and stuff. But again, it's more on the application, not necessarily in the stream. And again, that's to my understanding.
So it's a broadcaster level service. Thank you very much, Heidi, for answering that question. And that's all we have so far.
Awesome. Thank you, Chelsea. So with that, one of the things I kind of talked about is our MediaStar tool. This tool, again, allows broadcasters and OTT linear companies, channels to be able to create, build, and manage all their program and metadata. And then when they hit publish, it updates the ESG data in real time. And I'll actually walk you through some of those use cases. And then the last tool that I'm actually walk you into that might not be as familiar is our Client Media Manager. So this particular tool allows broadcasters and OTT channels to be able to upload their channel logos, show cards, that's all managed. But you'll also be able to see in the system what we currently have, for example, the Ellen DeGeneres show. What images do we currently have in there? And it just allows them to that your programming data from what you're managing in MediaStar, that the image associated to it are always up to date and accurate. So what's next? So I will go ahead and jump into this, but the other thing I kind of wanted to point out too, one of the things we are looking for are some other companies, groups, stations that are building out a broadcaster app to kind of test some of these thoughts and features that were part of this research that they did to see what would it look like, how would it interact, and we could be able to provide that data, the images and things. So if that's something you're interested in, or you're building out a broadcaster app and you're needing some of that information from the metadata to rich media, please reach out to us. We would love to partner with you and try to really work out some of these possibilities and use cases. So with that, let me actually now turn over to our website here. So here is our MediaStar scheduling tool. This tool is a web-based tool, so as long as you have internet access, login, and password, you can access it anywhere. So what you're seeing here is my demo 6, which in my MediaStar account is my 3.0 channel. It is, for the most part, similar or exactly to my demo 5, which is my 1.0 channel. But through MediaStar, it allows me to, I can add a particular show and then distribute it through our system to my other channel without having to do double entry of data. One of the other things that I wanted to point out that we kind of talked about, so if I click and edit this event, one of the things we talked about were links or additional content. So currently today in MediaStar, it gives the programmers the ability to set defaults or a one-time case to say, okay, on my guide or out in the ESG data, when you send it out, and you're going to include a link, I want it to be for program information. The text will be more on the talk, and here's the link. Live streaming, CBS Live, so on and so forth. And I've been able to set this up so every time I go to schedule now the talk, these links automatically are defaulted and pull them in. I don't have to think about it again. They're already there. So to give you an idea how that looks like, so again, the best way to be able to show you this is through our NEXTGEN guide, is the particular guide here. You'll see right here, there are those links. So if I click on live, I want to watch it live right now. I'm going to go ahead and click on it and it's going to pull it up. And so there is the live there. Let me go back up here. I'm gonna refresh mine here since it's no longer noon, it's 1. There we go. So here's the talk. So you'll see this is my 1.0, this is my NEXTGEN. So at 1 o'clock, they're the same time, but due to the different contracts that I have and restrictions, I don't have the rights to air these, for example, and so I've switched up the content. But this is all being managed in MediaStar. What's also you can see in MediaStar, let me jump back here to the talk and let me show you some additional content. So let's say I want to go ahead and view the program details. Oops, that's not what I wanted. I clicked the wrong thing. Program overview. So here's that metadata that I talked about that's all included with it. It also includes, you know, what kind of type is it, which might be beneficial as well within the EPG, additional genres. And if I go to edit the program, I can actually add different text to it as well. I can add or update the cast and crew, and then additional ratings. So again, this was information per the study that the consumers were most excited about in the advanced EPG. So let me go here and show you kind of what some of that would look like. So this is just a basic grid guide. If I click onto it, I can get more information. And not only can I get more information, you know, it tells me the season and the episode. As we know, a lot of times with consumers that are watching, you know, series on an OTT platform, it's always like, oh, what season are you, what episode? It's not necessarily what we talk about broadcast, but I feel like this is going to be important for 3.0 because consumers are going to be ingesting in video content like they do in OTT. This also gives you an idea of all the images that we have available currently from this. Again, we get a lot of this from our baseline data provider, Red Bean FYI Television. It also allows me to see the cast and crew. And what we just rolled out recently is our cast and crew page on this. Again, this guide was built to enhance the guide, but an opportunity for us to show broadcasters what we can be able to provide them for NEXTGEN television in the EPG. So if you look at some of this content, you know, you can get so buried into this. Where is she from? Her claims. The other thing that it includes is additional links. So again, in that studies, it was additional content related to that. So if I wanted to know more about Cheryl Underwood on IBMD, it would pull that up, which sometimes the site's slow. So I'm going to go back and click on, let's say, Wikipedia. There's information all on her. And the broadcaster did not have to do any of this. It's part of the information that came. And then there's cast and crew information or her picture. So pretty easy. MediaStar allows you to build that out. There's a lot more customization I won't go into, but if that's something you're interested in, we can go in. We can set us another time to kind of dig deeper into it. But now what I want to show you is I've shown you the way how we can update, manage, create the metadata associated to the program that would be sent out in the ESG data. Now I want to show you one of our other tools. It's called our client media upload tool that allows broadcasters or channels to be able to manage the logos associated to their program, their channel in the data feed, and also the images. So I'm going to go to show cards because I think that's more exciting to look at than image or logos. So I'm going to go to my demo file. We were just seeing the talk. So let me go into my program library here list, go to the talk. And then the episode, I'm just going to look at the parent programming. So here's the parent program images for that. The thing that you're going to notice as well as this all loads is not only are there different images available to be able to display and send out, there are also different sizes. So again, a lot of this will depend on how the broadcaster app or the receiver app is built on what images are sent and what images can be displayed. But this just gives you the idea of everything that is possible or available as things are continuously developed out, knowing that the consumers are really wanting and excited about having some of these enhanced features within the modernized guide. And this is one too, if I had my own, I did have, let's go, I think it's CBS News. So this is one, I created my own logos, my own show cards, and I uploaded them. So these were even back in 2019. I did some different ones, and then I have a different one for my portrait versus landscape. And once I have in the system, I can go from one channel to the other. Chelsea, do we have any other questions at this time?
Nope, no other questions as of now. As a reminder, on the dashboard, there is a question section. So if you have any questions or any comments, either way, we'd love to hear from you.
So in general, since it's just data, this is the best way to kind of show you how Titan TV can help as you continue to build out and broadcaster apps are continue developed out. We can provide that rich media, that metadata that consumers are wanting and excited about in NEXTGEN television, so they can have that similar user experience they have today with a lot of the OTT platforms, be able to do VOD all in one place and at their fingertips as the one consumer headset. So with that, I can dig so much deeper, but I really want to open it up to anyone else. If you have questions, here's your time. If I can answer them, I will answer them. If not, I will find an answer for you and get back to me. Chelsea, did we have any questions come in?
Yes, the client media manager slide that you showed, is that the same as MediaStar?
Yeah, so let me jump back to that. So the way that they're exactly the same is that when a client media manager tool is set up, the programs for that channel is based on, so this program list is based on what's in this program list. Now, you'll see this program list is longer because the list that's currently in the media manager is what's airing in the next, I want to say 14 days or so, or what's currently recently scheduled. So, which is a benefit because as we know with some heavy of our MediaStar users, your program list can get really long. So it's one of those, you would have to first create the program in MediaStar. So if it's a brand new program, you create it in here. Once you have it created, make sure you have all the metadata associated to it. Then you would go to your image upload tool and then be able to add those images. Now, thing to note is you could have someone that has access to this that doesn't have access to edit your schedule. They'll need access to MediaStar just to see the library, but they won't be able to edit it. So if you have someone in your digital department, is a lot of times what happens, that you want them to set up with the image tool, you can do that. Again, this is something that will help stations today with the NEXTGEN on their website and make sure that's up to date. So it can be used today and also as we roll out NEXTGEN television.
Heidi, if they don't have access to the channel logo upload tool, how do they go about getting that?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the best thing is to actually email our customer care. So if you have MediaStar, you MediaStar user, just go to your home tab and it's right there. It's customercare@titantv.com and just say, hey, I'd like access and add on the image upload tool. How do I do that? We'll get it set up. And then Chelsea, our awesome trainer, will actually then set up a short training with you, walk you through it, or walk whoever through it. If you need to set up 5 people, we can get them all set up. If they need individual trainings, we can do that as well.
And one question, yes, are the links to the websites links to the websites are navigation to do with the TV remote?
So again, that question is hard to answer because it really depends on the end device in 3.0 and NEXTGEN. So what are the use cases and through the possibilities of NEXTGEN television is that the television itself, and with the use of the remote, you can click on it and then go off to another site. Or as the study said as well, one of the other proposed use cases is that you click on it and actually shows up, let's say on your phone, it's mirrored onto your second device that you already have. As the study said, you already have a phone in front of you or a laptop, it pushes to that. And then from there, you can click on it. So there's different options. Again, a lot of this is what's possible in NEXTGEN television. It's just a matter of what actually ends up getting developed out, gets developed in not only the receiver app on the television or the mobile phone, for example, since NEXTGEN can be also received on a mobile phone, but also on the broadcaster app that is then sent out the signal. Any other questions that we have?
Nothing has come into the questions bar since that last question, so nope.
Alrighty, well, that is our presentation webinar today. if you watched it, we will be, this has been recorded, and once we're able to, we will then get it up onto our YouTube channel, and then we will send out an email to everyone that registered for the particular webinar with a link to that. Otherwise, just make sure you check out our YouTube channel, which is Titan TV Inc., INC, to see all the other past webinars that we have, and then we'll also put our future webinars on there. If for any reason you have any additional questions or you just want to pick our brain on things, feel free to reach either out to myself or Chelsea, or you can our customer care, because we also both are included on that email. And I just want to again push that out. We are also looking for, stations, companies, groups to do some testing and develop of a broadcaster app. Again, we just provide the data and rich media. We are looking for someone that can pull in that in and be able to experiment and test and really build out some of these possibilities that have been talked about in the studies, and just kind of see how it looks. So if that's something you're interested in, please reach out to me. We'd love to partner with you, and let's see where the future takes us. Other than that, I appreciate everyone joining us today, and we'll see you on the next webinar.